for further analysis, we're joined by former president of Azad, Jammu and Kashmir and former diplomat, Mr. Masood Khan, live from Islamabad. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Khan. Now, 7 years after the abrogation of Articles 370 and 35A, how do you assess its impact on the people of Kashmir?
Let's be very clear, all the steps that India took on August the 5th, 2019 were in violation of international law and the United Nations Security Council resolutions on Jammu and Kashmir. India also violated its own constitution and some provisions in the constitution, although we did not accept those provisions as well, except with the exception of Article 35A, which gave special rights to the people of the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. But we did not recognize Article 370 also because this was a stratagem or a ruse to annex the occupied territory to the Indian Federation. But India on that day did away with that pretense and completely integrated the territory, the occupied territory, with this federation, which was contrary to the commitments India had made in the 1950s to the United Nations. So I think that your question is about the impact on the people of Jammu and Kashmir. They were devastated because following the steps that India took in that month in 2019, there was a lockdown, total lockdown. The people of Jammu and Kashmir were subjected to starvation. They were cut off from the rest of the world. And since then, they have been brutalized. The latest instance was last year, after the Pahalgam incident. Five human rights, United Nations human rights special rapporteurs have recorded to the people of the occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Hundreds of people were picked up, their houses were destroyed, their businesses were decimated, and there were forced disappearances. Many people were killed because they suspected all of them that they were involved in the Pahalgam incident one way or the other. And the UN rapporteur said that all these steps that were taken by India were in violation of international law, and this was excessive use of force, and they condemned the actions that were taken by Indian forces, Indian occupation forces. They also said that what India did, Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the United Nations Charter and Article 6 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. So, and they said that India's attack, subsequent attack on Pakistan, was an act of aggression because India's defense for that kind of aggression was unacceptable and not credible. They had not intimated the United Nations Security Council before invoking Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, which gives one the right to self-defense. And they also said that this unilateral suspension of the Indus Water Treaty also violated the rights of the people of Pakistan. So you see that not only the people of the occupied territory of Jammu and Kashmir have been suffering, India has subjected the people of Pakistan to water aggression and also brutal aggression against its civilians in May last year. So I think that India pretends to give the impression that everything is hunky-dory, that normalcy has returned to the occupied territory, but this is not the case. In fact, the people of Jammu and Kashmir continue to suffer, and therefore it makes the people of Jammu and Kashmir under occupation, the people of Azad Kashmir, the people of Pakistan, and our diaspora communities all around the world to accelerate the pace for the realization of the right to self-determination of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
So, Mr. Khan, Pakistan says India's 2019 move violated international law and UN resolutions. Why has the international response remained limited on this very grave matter?
Well, I would say that the international community was not silent in 2019. In fact, India was called out, and in the opprobrium that the people of Jammu and Kashmir felt towards India was broadcast all around the world by television networks and also by the newspapers, international newspapers. So it was covered, and Pakistan raised this issue in the Security Council 3 times, and there were some informal meetings, but those meetings could not lead to a resolution or a product or one sort of the other, or a statement from the President of the Security Council, because of the hesitation of the veto-wielding powers, particularly the United States, United Kingdom, and France. We know that China helped us at that point. So I think that that's when we got groundswell of support, but then the attention of the world shifted because of the COVID-19 and then President Trump's presidency. In fact, President Trump, when he assumed presidency and shortly thereafter, he had said that he would mediate between India and Pakistan to resolve the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. So I would not say that it did not get the kind of attention it should get, but it has produced no results. And in the recent past, I think that Pakistan has been raising this issue in the United Nations Security Council, in the General Assembly, in the Human Rights Council, and other multilateral fora. We also, our diplomats, routinely raise this issue in important capitals, whether it is London or Brussels or Washington or Beijing or Moscow or many other capitals of the world, Canada and Australia. They're all aware of the situation on the ground, and they know that this situation is perilous, not only for India and Pakistan, but for the entire world, because both countries, Pakistan and India, are nuclear weapon states. And if the escalation on Kashmir reaches a level, there could be a devastation that could affect the entire globe very adversely.